what's up everybody? This is Unilateral Everything, episode 7, finishing out week 6. So start a new, block. This is actually take 2. I called it a mesocycle in the last one. I don't know, I'm tired this week. Yeah, no, definitely an interesting start to the first cycle or block. Wow, first week of this block. Introduced a couple new variations to the Olympic lifts just to focus on a couple things. I touched on that in episode 6, how I was going to be tackling a couple technical flaws of my own. So yeah, I started off Monday, no foot, no hook snatches. I hadn't done those in a while, so I never really done them for set percentages. So doing it 70%, 75%. And went pretty well. Wasn't kind of surprised myself on that. I thought it'd go a little worse, so that was good. All of my strength lifts, so started off Monday. I kept my reverse lunges from the last block and kept it on Monday, but this time doing it from a front rack, which is basically everything I'm doing is coming from a front rack. So whether it's the reverse lunge that I did on Monday, Tuesday hitting up a rear foot elevated split squat or a Bulgarian split squat, the same thing. Doing that from the front rack as well. The thing I did, I don't train on Wednesdays. I use that as a physical therapy or corrective exercise day. Really what ends up happening is it ends up being my makeup work day, because making the time to train, obviously I have to shift some stuff around with work. So a lot of my my work stuff, if I have anything to catch up on, that's where I do it, is on Wednesday. Thursday doing a front foot elevated split squat. Did just regular split squat last week, or last block. So now I have a rear foot elevated and now a front foot elevated. So that's gonna be a little interesting. No hook cleans was Tuesday, and power snatches, power clean from the hang position on Thursday. And I think that's basically it. Regular lifts today. Snatch complex today with a overhead squat. And then normally I would do, if you ever look at my clean and jerks, if you follow on Instagram, it's always written out as 1 + 1, so 1 clean plus 1 jerk, or 2 + 2, 2 cleans plus 2 jerks. Normally I would do it in that order. I always write it that way though, just because I want to be able to count the intensity of both the clean and the jerk into the movement, so I can see roughly the percentages there and how much how many reps I'm doing above a certain percentage. So this time around this block, I'm doing it clean then jerk, clean then jerk. So this morning had 80%, 2 + 2, so a clean and jerk followed by a clean and jerk at 80%. Because I haven't been doing a whole ton of heavy lifting on the Olympic lifts, that definitely was a little bit challenging, so that was good. One of the things that I've been having to manage this week is life stress, work stress. There's a lot going on. So busy with classes, teaching little kids. So I think I have roughly, 5 × 5, so 25. So I have 28 classes a week to teach, alongside a lot of administrative work, and then meetings on top of that, a couple team trainings that I do. So sometimes that 28 classes actually ends up being right around 32. Just depends. So Thursday actually, and this is where the stress gets fun into it, Thursday in a meeting, just things took way longer, and that meeting got kind of stressful there on Thursday. Missed my training time. Normally I'd train right around 1:30 to 2 o'clock. I'd start training, be done by 4, but I had somebody that had to come in and doing a assessment at 3:30, and a meeting that was supposed to end at 12:30, 12:45 ended up getting wrapped up at 1:45. So yeah, that's the one thing that's always difficult. And so ended up training after got done coaching, which was I guess technically I have an assistant coach who was able to cover my last class, and which was a huge blessing to be able to train and get my work done, because then Friday I had physical therapy, so up at 5 a.m. for a 7 a.m. PT appointment, because I have a very set morning routine that I like to follow. It's just being disciplined is something that's really helped me, especially recently in the past couple months, just maintaining a sharp mental focus. So was up at 5 a.m. and then had another assessment to do today. I was also up a little bit late. If you can see, I'm a little dirty right now because I started building a strongman yoke a couple weeks ago. Was finally able to get back into the shop to finish fabricating that, and just finished up all the fabrication. Now I have to paint it all, and yeah, so but I spent a lot of time welding and grinding stuff down last night, and knew I had an assessment to do today, so then I just got back finishing doing all the grinding, fabricating some J-hooks, and getting set for priming and painting and all that stuff so I can finish that yoke up. So I was up till probably 11 last night after waking up at 5, which is right around the normal time I go to bed. I'd preferably like to get 7 hours of sleep, but sometimes it doesn't happen. And then up at 5:30 so I could train before classes this morning, and then had an assessment and another meeting after work today. So managing life stress is something we all kind of have to do. It does have an effect on training. HRV scores, especially the past 2 days. Wednesday was kind of low. Thursday was fine. Friday, very low. Like I said, the life stress, stressful meetings, training later than I like to. Fridays was pretty low, and then being up super late and having, I guess, a longer waking day on Friday. So woke up with a little bit lower scores today. So that's kind of where we're at. Headed into the next cycle, and not really sure what I'll talk about next week, but that'll be something I'll come up with something interesting to talk about. I may talk about dealing with parents of little kids and training little kids a little bit more, because that's really what I like to do. So I guess that sounded kind of weird, but I coach kids. They're cool. Sometimes their parents cannot be cool. Sometimes their parents can actually be really cool. I don't know. There's just parenting and young athletes is such a controversial topic. I want to kind of go in depth a little bit more about that next week, because I think there's something to say for raising athletes well and just letting kids be kids. Like I said, I'll open up that can of worms next week. So that's episode 7. Finishing up that first block of the next mesocycle, or first week of the next block. I'm all too many hours awake. So thanks for tuning in. If you're actually paying attention to this, I appreciate it for taking the time to listen and watch. Feel free to reach out with any questions or random comments about some of the corrective stuff I've been doing or not doing for kind of maintaining a healthy body. And or if you have suggestions or think this is stupid, you can put that comment there too. I don't know. You have fun with that. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week when I talk about parents and coaching kids and all the fun stuff that comes with that. Till then, have a great week.